Good morning, students. Welcome to Concept Class. Today, we enter one of the most formative eras of ancient Indian history, the Vedic period. This period followed the decline of the Harappan civilization and was named after the sacred texts called the Vedas. Composed in Sanskrit, it stretched from around 1500 BCE to 600 BCE and laid the foundation for Indian society, religion, and culture as we know them today. Our main sources of information about this period come from the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. The Rig Veda is the oldest and most important, containing hymns sung in praise of gods. We also learn from great epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, and from the Brahmanas and Upanishads, which explain rituals and philosophy. Together, these sources give us deep insight into Vedic life. The Vedic age is divided into two broad phases: the early Vedic period, from 1500 to 1000 BCE, and the later Vedic period, from 1000 to 600 BCE. During the early phase, the Aryans were mostly pastoral. They herded cattle and moved from place to place. In the later phase, they began settling down, practicing agriculture, and forming kingdoms. This shift brought major social and political changes. The people of the Vedic period were called Aryans. Most historians believe they came from the steppes of Central Asia and entered India through the northwestern mountain passes. Around 1500 BCE, they first settled in the Punjab region, the land of 5 rivers, where they composed the Rig Veda. From there, they gradually spread eastward across the Gangetic plains. In the early Vedic age, society was organized into tribes called janas. Each tribe was led by a rajan, a chief chosen for his bravery and wisdom. There were no great empires or cities. Life was mostly rural and community-based. The people were simple, hard-working, and guided by customs rather than written laws. The Rajan ruled with the help of two assemblies, the Sabha and the Samiti. The Sabha was a council of elders, while the Samiti included all tribal members. This shows that the political system was somewhat democratic. The main duties of the Rajan were to protect the tribe, ensure justice, and lead in wars. In the later Vedic age, the tribes grew into larger kingdoms, called Janapadas. The kingship became hereditary. Power now passed from father to son. Kings performed grand sacrifices, such as the Rajasuya, royal consecration, and the Ashvamedha, horse sacrifice, to assert authority and divine approval. This marked the beginning of organized monarchical states. Economically, the early Vedic people depended mainly on cattle. Cows were a measure of wealth. Even wars were fought for them. By the later Vedic period, agriculture became dominant. People started plowing, growing rice and barley, and using iron tools. Trade and crafts also developed, giving rise to artisans and traders. Society was patriarchal. The father was the head of the family. In the early Vedic period, Women were respected and could attend assemblies, study, and choose husbands. Later, as society became more complex, women's freedom declined. The Varna system emerged. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, dividing society by occupation and birth. The early Vedic religion was simple and nature based. The Aryans worshipped gods like Indra, the god of thunder, Agni, the fire god, Varuna, the god of waters, and Surya, the sun god. They offered sacrifices called yajnas, using fire as a medium. There were no temples or idols. Prayers were in the form of hymns, recited by priests. In the later Vedic age, religion became more complex. Priests began to dominate society through control of rituals and sacrifices. Concepts like karma, actions, samsara, rebirth, and moksha, salvation, began to emerge. These ideas deeply influenced later Indian religions, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. The Vedic system of education was the Gurukul. Students lived with their teacher, the Guru, in simple surroundings. They learned not only reading and writing, but also discipline, moral values, and respect for elders. Education was holistic. It aimed to shape character, not just intellect. The Vedic people produced vast literature. The Vedas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads reflect their religious and philosophical thought. Sanskrit was their language, elegant, precise, and powerful. The oral tradition kept this knowledge alive for centuries before being written down. The Vedic age left a lasting legacy. It gave us the foundations of Hindu thought, Sanskrit literature, and the Varna system. It introduced ideas of good governance, education, and spirituality that continue to shape Indian civilization even today. To summarize, the Vedic age was a turning point in India's past, from simple pastoral tribes to settled kingdoms, from nature worship to deep philosophy. The Vedic people laid the groundwork for Indian civilization. Their thoughts, values, and traditions remain alive in our culture even today. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed our journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel for more videos.